going on, my people? As you can see, I just changed my name to Ascending Densities, and this resonates with me a lot more than the last name, and I'm going to stick with it. But in this topic, I want to talk about Ascension, and how we're going right now. We're going through a part of the galaxy that's super high charge and frequency, and these waves are coming in as our planet goes through, as our whole solar system goes through this part of the galaxy. We're getting bombarded with these waves, these galactic waves, which is the Christ consciousness returning to the earth. And the Mayans predicted this. They had cycles of like 5,120 years, and at the end of this last cycle it was going to be the return of Quetzalcoatl, which is to the Mayans it was a feather serpent deity, which was a representation of Christ consciousnness. And in some Egyptian sarcophaguses it was found, and in some hieroglyphics was found with the snake and the serpent coming out of the forehead. And this is and same way with China, with the dragons. This is a representation of the Kundalini energy rising up the spine into the higher chakras. It is a representation of Christ consciousness, of oneness, of the male and female, of the spirit and the physical coming together. And as we're going through this part of the galaxy, and a lot of people think that this 2012, was supposed to be the end times, and we are living in the end times, but 2012 was just the start of it, the marker, and that was the beginning of the end times. But it's not going to be the end times. It's going to be the end of time as we know it. It's going to be the end of civilization as we know it. We're moving from, right now, we're in the third dimension. In this reality, this is a third dimension reality. It's a dimension of, it's a density of duality. Dark, light, good and bad, Republican, Democrat. All these different sides. And right now we're moving into the fourth density as a planet, as a collective, as a whole solar system. We're moving to this high part of the galaxy. And we have these guardian races coming back, these guardian races that are making sure that this transition goes smoothly. And part of these are the blue avians, the sphere beings, and there's Pleiadians, there's Arcturians, Andromedans, and so many other beings, that these positive beings that are assisting us. And from Corey Good's story, he talked about how these spheres, which were three different sizes. There was the size of the moon, and one that was the size of I think Venus, and then the other size was the size of Jupiter. And these spheres came into our solar system, and they were buffering this energy. They were absorbing this energy, so it wasn't too much for us to handle. So this solar event would take longer time, so more of us would awaken, more of us would tap into this energy and not because these energies, as these waves of energy come in, those people who aren't doing the work, those people who are living in their ego, they're going to get triggered. It's going to make the crazy. It's gonna bring out all of our emotions and bring them back tenfold. It's gonna bring them forward tenfold. So if you're vibing out, if you're doing the work, if you're gonna be blissed out, and you're gonna get upgrades, and this energy, you're gonna be like a surfer of these waves. You're gonna be growing. You're gonna be expanding. And these people who aren't doing the work, they're gonna be going through a really rough time. So these spheres were buffering out this energy, and supposedly these spheres have disappeared now, and we're getting the full amount of this energy. And transformation is here. We can see it, what's happening in the world with everything that's going on with the virus, with all these riots. And, we're seeing so much separation and these people being triggered, and so much hatred and anger coming out because these energies, and also because we've had enough. And our Earth and our solar system has been, predominantly the Earth has been under a dark influence for a very long time. These Draco reptilians, these dark archonic entities that have taken over the Earth, and they've created a system through working with the elite of our planet. They've created a system to where it drains to where we plug into it, we give our consciousness into it, and they feed off of our fear, they feed off of our energy. That goes with the media, with television, with Hollywood, with the foods we eat. It's all meant to keep us in a lower state of vibration. And once we're in that lower vibration, these entities, they can feed off of our fear, they can feed off of our negative emotions. And with the shift that's happening, these dark forces know that this is their last stand. They're making their last stand. That's what we're seeing out in the world right now with the coronavirus, with everything. This is their last stand to suppress us. And they know their time is up because this shift is happening. And with the vibrations of the earth raising, these beings aren't going to be able to exist on this earth. They're going to have to move elsewhere. And these people, there's an earth split going on, to where the people who are doing the work, the people who are waking up, the people who are in an awakened state of consciousness, we're moving into the new earth. The new earth is already here. We just have to attune to it, because time is an illusion. We can attune to that energy now. We can tune into the 4th and 5th and 6th densities. But as a whole collective, we're moving into the 4th density. And there's going to be there's a split happening, to where the people who are doing the work, the people who are ascending their level of consciousness, we're moving into the new earth, into the higher densities. And these people who aren't, these people who are still stuck in this lower vibration and these karmic patterns, these karmic cycles, they're going to be stuck in this old reality. And when this shift happens, and they're going to have to incarnate in different planets, they're not going to be able to incarnate on this planet anymore unless they choose to raise their vibration, unless they choose to awaken. And those old realities, those old karmic cycles that aren't serving you anymore, you have to leave those behind. And they're going to be, as you grow, as you progress through this physical reality, through this ascension, all those old things are going to fall away. The people that aren't serving your purpose, the people that are keeping you in old patterns, they're going to fall away. Your diet's going to change, because as this ascension goes on, our DNA is crystallizing, because our DNA and our body are carbon based in this third reality. But as this ascension is going on, our DNA and our body is crystallizing, and we have all this junk DNA that, as these energies come in and as we ascend our consciousness, our DNA is becoming, we're getting more helixes, and our DNA is advancing and crystallizing. Right now, as a third density being, we have a two helix DNA. We're moving into a 12 helix DNA, and all this junk DNA is being reprogrammed into our DNA, and it's crystallizing, so we can take on more light in our body, so our body can become lighter and we can hold these energies. But with all this, with all the ascension going on and everything, it's right now is the time to do the work. Right now is the time to raise your vibration by having a healthy diet, by not taking in drugs and alcohol into your body. You know, there's beneficial ones though. You can there's mushrooms, there's ayahuasca, there's all these things that can help you to wake up and awaken and raise your vibration and change your perspective on life, change your perspective into a perspective of oneness, that we are all one with the one creator, and that everything that is happening and everything that has happened in your life has been there to awaken you and has been there for a reason, a purpose. Everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose for everything that happens in this reality, and it's time you realize that. It's time you wake up to that. But it's time we all become surfers, and we surf these waves of energy that are coming in. And that is my message for you today. It's time to connect with these beings, all these positive beings that are working with us. We can connect with them. We can connect with these beings, and they are already connecting with us. Many of us don't even know it. And many of them are around us all the time, but they're at such a high frequency that our eyes, and because it would violate our free will, that our higher self doesn't let that happen. But alright guys, peace out, love, ascending densities, out.